Hello friends, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Seth. I'm a full-time fantasy author. It's early in the morning when I'm recording this, so my throat is all froggy, scratchy. I don't know, but I got my coffee, so life is pretty good. But anyway, I just got done with a large round of travel. And I'm at home for a couple of weeks, and I'm working on some books, and I'm trying to really write a lot. But then I'm also looking forward to some more travel. In fact, I will be traveling for the majority of July and the majority of August, and uh, and I have some events coming up where I'll be selling books, and I'll be doing some signings and that kind of thing, and that's really exciting. I'm very excited about that. But at the same time, that kind of got me thinking about fan interactions. And a specific fan interaction popped into my head. I had the enormous pleasure of getting to meet Timothy Zahn. If you don't know, he's a writer who wrote some Star Wars books, some of my favorite Star Wars books, back when the extended universe was a thing. And he really played a critical role in shaping sort of how I write, and more importantly, in shaping the kinds of characters that I really, really love. And so it was just a tremendous pleasure to actually get to meet him, get to shake his hand. But as we're moving into convention season, as we're moving into book signing season, I thought it would be helpful to talk a little bit about the do's and don'ts of meeting your favorite authors. If you haven't met a lot of famous authors, or even just authors that you love, they don't have to necessarily be famous, it can be hard to know how to act around them. And this holds true for any kind of celebrity, for any kind of person you'll meet at a con, especially people who are there in a professional capacity. And so I want to talk a little bit about just some really basic rules for how you should be interacting with your favorite famous or quasi-famous people. And the first is that you should be excited to see them. After all, it's really cool to meet somebody who has created something that has impacted you specifically. At the same time, you should think of them as you would your favorite cousin, or maybe a good friend who you haven't seen for a while. And you should be excited to see them, but you should also be calm. Now, that might sound like a contradiction, be excited, but also be calm. But you can be excited in your heart or in your demeanor and not react in a exaggerated way. You can be calm in your actions and excited in your demeanor. And that is exactly how you want to approach them. It is flattering when somebody is excited to meet you. It is incredibly off-putting when someone is acting in a way they normally wouldn't. So, things like screaming, things like jumping up and down, things like trying to hug whoever you're meeting. Don't do that stuff. You might be excited, but you will also weird them out if you are expressing your excitement physically through your body language. Instead, if you can be excited in your tone of voice, if you can be excited in your facial expression, if you can be excited in the way that you speak, but you can also be calm in your physical motions and in the pitch and intensity of your voice, they are going to really enjoy that interaction so much more. And if they're enjoying the interaction, then it's just going to be a better experience for you. So I guess what I would say is don't gush, don't try to touch them, don't flail around, don't raise the pitch or intensity of your voice. Instead, be excited because it's a genuinely cool thing, but also be calm. Then the second thing that I would really recommend is that you introduce yourself and identify specifically what it is that you like. So walking up to somebody and saying, "Hi, my name is Seth, and I really, really appreciate your work in X, Y, or Z." So for instance, when I met Timothy Zahn, "Hi, my name is Seth, and I'm a huge fan of your books." That clearly identifies what it is that this engagement is going to be about. See, one of the things that can be tricky to navigate as a professional creator is you don't always know what specifically the person likes. And some people like some of your stuff and not other things that you created, and some people like everything. So I've always appreciated it when somebody comes up to me and says, "Hi, my name is Stacy, and I love Battle Mage Farmer." Or, "Hi, my name is Jack, and I love Nova Terra." Because that not only identifies for me what they appreciate about what I've created, but it also gives me a jumping off point. So I can now have a reference for what to talk about with this person. Because the reality is that it can be kind of uncomfortable and challenging to just come up with a conversation on the spot with a complete stranger. And you don't want to put that burden on the person you're approaching. Now, if this is a book signing or if this is a meet and greet of some sort, then it's a more constrained environment and the rules are a little bit clearer, right? You're there for a specific reason, to meet this person for a specific reason. And that person, the celebrity or the author, they know why you're there. You're there because you want to interact with them around a certain topic. And that's fine. If you're meeting somebody just sort of casually, there's nothing wrong with introducing yourself, as long as you can make the encounter comfortable for that person. At the end of the day, I think it's really important to remember that we're all human. We're all just regular people. And I really mean that. No matter how impactful somebody's work is, at the end of the day, they're just a person, just like you. And so treating them as if they're not a person isn't going to be comfortable. And when people are uncomfortable, they tend to do all sorts of things that will make the experience for them and for you disappointing. So rather than approaching somebody as if they are a big deal, instead, what you should do is approach them as if you're a person who really likes something that they have created. You know, I talk about this from the creator standpoint, about how important it is to be able to distance yourself from what you create, because what you create is not your identity. Your identity as a creator is separate from the things you make. It's really helpful, actually, to have that same mentality as a fan of something, to be able to separate the thing that somebody has created from the creator themselves. If you can do that, you will find that your interactions with people who make things you love just get so much better. So as we're moving into con season, as we're starting to ramp up in the number of events we're doing, the number of book signings, that kind of stuff, just remember this. These are people too. And you want to approach them the same way you would meeting a new friend, or meeting your cousin, or meeting your grandmother, or meeting somebody who you already like. You can do it with excitement, but be calm at the same time. Introduce yourself, identify what it is that they've created that you really resonate with. And for bonus points, have some sort of question that they can answer to give them a jumping off point for the conversation and the interaction. Oh, and last but not least, depending on the context in which you're meeting them, please be cognizant of their time. And especially if you're paying to meet somebody, be aware that there are probably a lot of other people who also want to meet this individual. And so just be aware about how much time you're taking up. And I hope that if you see me at a convention and you see me at a book signing, you come up and say hello. I would love to meet all of you.